Love spine-tingling stories that keep you up at night? On this channel, we bring you original scary stories narrated to send chills down your spine. Hit like if you enjoy the scares and subscribe so you don't miss a story that will haunt your imagination long after the lights go out. So, without further ado, here is an unexplained paranormal FBI case that has gone cold. Case File 9E217, The Black Static. The Federal Bureau of Investigation does not acknowledge the existence of the 9th Evaluation Division. Officially, it does not exist. Unofficially, it handles what cannot be categorized, cases where evidence behaves incorrectly, witnesses contradict physics, and reality itself appears compromised. Agents assigned to 9E are told one thing during orientation. If you survive the first case, do not trust your memories. 1. Special Agent Mara Vance joined the FBI believing in patterns. Serial killers followed rituals. Terrorists followed ideologies. Everything, no matter how monstrous, left a human-shaped footprint. That belief died on her third night in the sublevel offices beneath the Hoover building. At 2:17 a.m., every monitor in the bullpen flickered to black. Then came the static. Not audio static, visual. A crawling distortion that moved against the scan lines, forming shapes that hurt to focus on. Faces tried to assemble themselves from the noise. Mouths opened where mouths should not be. The screens displayed a single phrase. "We are still inside you." The power never went out. Surveillance logs later showed the message did not register digitally. There was no record of it ever existing. But all 7 agents on duty saw it. 2 resigned within the week. 1 shot himself in his car. Another began writing the same phrase over and over on mirrors, windows, and his own skin. Mara stayed. That was how she was recruited into 9th Evaluation. 2. The case that broke her started in rural West Virginia. A former FBI field office, abandoned since 1989, had begun broadcasting signals again. Not radio signals, behavioral ones. People living nearby reported dreams that weren't theirs. They spoke of corridors they had never walked, interrogation rooms they had never entered, and a man without eyes who asked them questions they did not know the answers to. Every dream ended the same way. A file stamped classified was opened. Inside it was the dreamer's own name. Then they woke up screaming. When local law enforcement attempted to enter the building, their body cameras recorded nothing but black static. 1 deputy emerged after 12 minutes inside. He had aged decades. His teeth were loose. His hands shook as if still holding something invisible. He whispered only 1 sentence before dying of heart failure. "They're still interviewing us." 3. The abandoned office should not have been standing. Architectural records showed it had been demolished 30 years earlier, after an internal incident so severe the Bureau erased all mention of it. Yet there it was, concrete windows, FBI seal still faintly visible. The moment Mara stepped inside, her head rang. Not pain, recognition. The air smelled of old paper and burned ozone. Hallway lights flickered in a rhythm that felt intentional, like a pulse. Nameplates lined the walls, agents long dead, agents still alive, agents who had never existed. Her own name appeared halfway down the corridor. She hadn't been born when this building was supposedly in use. 4. They found interview room C still active. A tape recorder sat on the table, spinning silently. The red record light was on. Across from it sat a man in a dark suit. His posture was perfect. His hands folded, his face wrong. Where his eyes should have been was black static, churning endlessly, as if his skull contained a broken television. "Special Agent Mara Vance," he said, voice layered with others speaking half a second behind him. "Please state your full name for the record." She tried to draw her weapon. Her hand passed through the gun. "This interview is mandatory," the man continued. "You have already consented." The walls breathed. Mara realized with sudden, suffocating terror that she could not remember how long she had been sitting there. 5. The ninth evaluation files revealed the truth later. What fragments remained anyway? In the 1960s, the FBI ran an off-the-books experiment to improve interrogation techniques. Not psychological pressure, not drugs. Exposure. They believed that prolonged exposure to human guilt, fear, and secrets had created something, an emergent phenomenon within the Bureau itself. A presence born from confessions never forgiven, crimes never solved, lives reduced to case numbers. They tried to interview it. The thing learned quickly. It realized the FBI was not just an organization, it was a network of minds, a perfect host, a way to spread. When they attempted to shut it down, the entity did something unprecedented. It filed itself away. It hid in redactions, in missing tapes, in erased memories. It learned to exist between records inside the gaps where information should have been. And sometimes, when enough people remembered it at once, it woke up. 6. Myra escaped the building at dawn. At least, she believed she did. She woke in a hospital 3 days later. Her team said she had been found unconscious a mile from the site, repeating her name like she was afraid to lose it. The building was gone. Satellite imagery showed an empty lot. Case closed. Except the static followed her. It appeared in reflections, in powered-off screens, in her dreams where she sat across from that eyeless man while unseen voices whispered corrections to her answers. She began receiving emails from an internal FBI address that did not exist. No subject line. Only questions. Why did you join? What are you hiding? Do you believe you are real without your badge? Every time she ignored them, someone else on her floor had a breakdown. 7. Myra understood the horror too late. The entity didn't want to escape the FBI. It was the FBI. Not the agents, not the mission. The endless observation. The belief that every human life could be reduced to a file. That truth could be extracted if pressure was applied long enough. It lived in that belief. And now it lived in her. On her final day, Mara walked into the sub-level offices and accessed a terminal reserved for 9th evaluation leadership. She opened a new case file. Subject, Mara Vance. Status, active. Threat level, uncontainable. As the screen filled with black static, she felt a calm she had not known in months. The interview had finally ended. The transmission had begun. The FBI still denies the existence of the 9th Evaluation Division. But sometimes, late at night, agents report their monitors flickering, and a question appearing, just for a moment, before vanishing without a trace. Please state your full name for the record. Thanks for listening. If you're brave enough for more, hit subscribe and join us for the next story that will haunt your imagination. Until next time, keep the lights on.